Okay, on to the next skip the line reaction, man, and this one is Tremonti. By now, you should know how I feel about Tremonti, man. They are absolutely fire. Mark Tremonti is amazing. Now and Forever is the song name, and the skip the line reaction was requested by none other than Sammy. As you know, he always requests these. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we got over here. Drumming. Fire, my once jaded heart has been fortified. So I've made it stronger, right? But it's left on empty. It was like fuller, right? I had a lot more softness to give, but because through all of my trials and tribulations and because of all my hard times and all my hardships, right, it's made it stronger. And by making it stronger, it's actually some of its soft, caring side of it has kind of gone numb. So it's kind of left on empty, right? So it's like now it's like rock solid. It's a heart of stone to a certain degree. I don't think it's all together stone-like, but he's saying that he's gotten stronger, right? So by getting stronger, you get less emotional, it's a double-edged sword at the end of the day. Yes, when you suffer all those trials and tribulations, when you suffer tragedy in your life, and when you go through all that adversity, you have to sort of build yourself stronger, and you gotta sort of put this armor on you to ensure that it doesn't take you down again, because those things can take you down. And by doing that, it actually takes a beautiful side of you and kind of solidifies it and hides it away. So that's what he means by his heart is empty. The actual instrumentation is far, 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 far more hectic than this is actually more down Alter Bridge, if I'm thinking to myself. The actual instrumentation on this is more down Alter Bridge. The last tracks we heard by Tremonti was more melodic. This is more down Alter Bridge's sort of sound, if I'm not mistaken. You guys let me know down in the comment section. You'll always heal. I actually really like those lyrics over there where he's actually rise, but it's like, okay, much too late, but now we face our fate. So it's basically the consequences that you take when, because life is about adaptation, it's about change, right? And sometimes through that change, change is going to be hard, right? You're going to have to be forced to change because the way you are isn't actually kind of working for you. Things are, you're suffering too much. You're going through too much pain. You're going through too much misery. So you have to adapt and you have to change. That change is uncomfortable, right? And that change comes with consequences, because now when you have to face your demons and you have to face your realities, you've actually got to face them head on and you've got to actually deal with them, which is really hard to do, right? But it's about change. So the whole thing for me is kind of like, it's a song about, it's loss, it's change, adaptation, strength, and rising up. So it's basically that whole life timeline of really just trial and error, essentially. That's what I think the song's really about. It could also work the other way around. I was going the way where it was like you're going from bad to good, but it could also go from you're going from good to bad, essentially. So you're actually changing and things are getting worse, right? So you've kind of lost yourself to a certain degree here. For I have lost myself now and forever, right? I don't think you've ever lost yourself forever. I don't think people really find themselves. No one really knows who they are. It's always just a journey. All right. And what actually happens is you incrementally find yourself. You incrementally find out who you are in different situations. And that's going to be ongoing. That'll never change. You will find out something new about yourself on your deathbed. That is just a fact of life at the end of the day. But this adaptation, this like going through life and realizing that you've made these mistakes, and when you go through those times of like you completely lose yourself, you learn something, and then you learn something, and then you learn something, you learn something else, right? Even if it's not at your benefit and the consequences are heavy, there's still a learning that comes from that, which is in turn beneficial to you, right? So it's never really a loss. Nothing that ever happens in your life is a loss. Everything is a profit in your life. From the moment you were born, you've profited. Right? You're already in the profit column from the moment you're born. You've already profited. Anything after that is just a bonus. Let's go. Uh-oh. It's heavy. The standout on this is the drumming, man. The drumming is fire on this track. Fire, fire, fire. It's amazing how everybody says that before the wound and then says it after the wound again. It's like one more wound and I may never heal. And then you heal. Then the next wound, one more wound and I'll never heal. Then you heal. I don't think we've actually ever pushed ourselves to the absolute limits of how much we can do. We really haven't. Not in this day and age, at least. Right? We haven't pushed ourselves to the limits of what we can actually take. Right? We're not in the days of World War II or the Holocaust where you people were really tested, right? Their resolve was really tested. We never have to deal with that, so we should be fine. Drumming though. This track is hectic. Mad. The instrumentation on that was heavier than I usually would care for, but for some odd reason it didn't bug me on this one. For some odd reason it really just worked, right? It's meant to be like chaotic type of feel, right? Because, you know, when you're going through change, when you're going through the tragedy of life and you trying to, get a hold of yourself and you've lost yourself. It all does feel chaotic. So the instrumentation just matches what the lyrics were about. Right? But usually I'm not a big fan where it's like just too heavy, but the drumming on that was the standout. Like if you isolate the instruments, the drumming was just so pronounced. I loved the drumming on that. Alright, anyway. Not my usual type of instrumentation, yet I loved it. So it wasn't as melodic as their other ones. Still, fire track, man. Fire track. You guys let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!